All right, y'all, I'm going to be working on the rifle flag this weekend. I got all the stripes cut out for it. I got them torched. And the next thing I need to do is create the trench that I actually put the shells in. I do the trench after I torch it, and then I'll go ahead and put the stain down in it. If you do the trench after you stain, you're gonna have to re-stain that part, and you kind of risk getting a little bit of an uneven stain. So I always do it afterwards. It's really easy. I personally use my router and router table to do it. I use a straight cut bit. I'm not exactly sure of the size of it, but when we get to that part, I'll make sure to tell you what the sizes I use. Obviously, it's a different size bit for different size flags. I actually got a handful I got to make today. Some of them are small, some of them are medium, so it's going to be different bits each time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my router table set up, and then we will go ahead and start cutting out the trench, and I'll show you that process. And as soon as that's done, we'll go ahead and stain everything, get the flag actually put together, and once the flag's put together, I'll show you how I attach the shells to the flag itself. It's really easy. Basically just epoxy, and that basically concretes that shell in there. Sorry, you don't see any of the epoxy because it dries clear. So if any of them get out, or not get out, but like come out from underneath the shell, it's not really noticeable. So we'll get to that, and once we're done with that, we will go to the final stage. All right, so we got the router table set up to where it is exactly in the middle of this. So it's going to take, basically, it'll take a trench right down the middle, and I'm going to start pretty shallow, and then I'll raise it a little bit every time I do it. Looks like it's taking off probably about 1/8 of an inch starting out, and then we'll raise it up probably another 1/8 of an inch. And that should be good. I like the shells to stick out of the trench. I don't want it to be even. I like it to stick out because it gives it a little bit of depth for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started and show you what it looks like afterwards. All right, so we got our flag all put together with the trenches in it. Now it's pretty simple. I use my cheap epoxy that I get at Hobby Lobby for this. I don't use the expensive one. So anyway, it's pretty simple at this point. I just line them up. I start with this row right here because I'm going to be backing up against the union. So I start there, and then I start lining them up, eyeballing. Sorry for the awful camera work. Let's see, right there. Right there. Alright, and the next row I do is on this side because I can line it up on the edge with the edge of it. Let me turn on the I guess I can't in the middle of the video. Oh, you can still see it. Anyway, I line it up to the edge of the flag. Right there. Alright, and then the next one, I go all the way to this side, and you line it up. If I put it in the trench, line it up with the edge of that. So basically what you're doing is you're setting up the middle rows to be even because you have all of these other rows already exactly where they need to be. Alright, so you should have that first. So do that row first, and then the edges really don't matter. I mean, you can do them in any order. Alright, so now what I'll do, and I mean, there's other ways to do this. You can get a spacer to make sure it's exactly even. I don't really worry about that so much. I just kind of eyeball it and I get pretty dang close. Sorry. Alright, let's see if I'll have enough. I think I'll know. Yeah, well, no, I won't. I'll be one short, so I gotta open up another box. And I'm not really trying to line these up right now. I'm just trying to show you where they're at. Anyway, I'll get that other bullet in a minute. I just want to show you. So then what I'll do is I'll take some of the epoxy and I'll just put a dab underneath, right in here, and then push it down, butt it up against the union, and I put the epoxy under them in the order that I just did it. So I'll do this row first, glue first, get that set up, then I'll do the sides, and then I'll do the middle, and line them exactly how they're supposed to be. Once I get it all ready, I'll show you what they look like. I have 3 of them to do, 3 of the smalls, and then I have a medium one to do, but it's all the same method. So this takes about one full box and a little bit from another box for one small flag. It's a little different for the mediums. I think the mediums is two boxes and then a little bit from a third. But all right, we'll get these epoxied up and be ready to go. All right, I just wanted to show you how much I put in there. So it's not, I mean, it's not much. That actually may be a little too much, so it may come over the side. No, it's all right. So anyway, I'll back it up against that, and I'm gonna push it in just a touch. And that one, as soon as that epoxy cures, will be completely concreted in there and it won't move. Alright, so we got them all finished up, all 3 of the smalls finished up. So now I just basically wait for it to cure. It'll be ready for me to spray my finish on in about 12 hours, so I'll do that tonight. Meant to show you too, you can kind of see them on these. So I take part of the paper, because sometimes the bullet will kind of lean that way a little bit, depending because this side may be shallower than that side. So what I do is I just stick a piece of paper under it to keep the bullet up and even with the rest of it. So got these 3 finished. It's a nasty, dreary day here in Georgia, so I'm doing a lot of inside work. Got stuff I gotta get shipped out. So, but anyway, that's the finished product. I use the same spray finish on it then that I do all my other flags and have no issues with it. One thing you do want to check with them though is to kind of, sometimes the bullet will kind of turn that way a little bit, so you just want to straighten it out so they're all pointing forward. But I like the way these turned out. Pretty cool flag. These have been one of my newer flags that have sold really well. Now, one thing I do got to mention too is if you're using live ammo like I'm using, you need to check the state in which you're shipping it to, because some states will have problems with shipping live ammo. You can use dummy ammo. I just find that it's a little bit more expensive. Walmart right now actually had a bunch of their ammunition on clearance, so I probably got like 15-20 boxes of ammo for about $100 to do all my flags with. So, but anyway, that's just something to consider. I'd check if you're going to ship it. I would check what the laws are to the state you're shipping it. Luckily, majority of mine are local pickup, so these 3 right here are going to be picked up tomorrow. And I've shipped 2 of them, and they were to Alabama and South Carolina. So anyway, there they are. I'll show you. I'll post a finished picture at the end of the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button. We're over 300 subscribers right now, which is awesome. I appreciate you guys watching my stuff. I hope it helps. I'm going to keep making videos of the different stuff I do. We got some really cool projects coming up that I'm really excited to work on. We got some split flags. I'm going to show you how I do my split flags. We got state flags coming up. What else? We got a Cuban flag that I'm doing. We got some cutting boards with resin river going through it. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And so I'm going to keep doing these videos, and I appreciate you guys subscribing, commenting on the videos, and liking the videos. It just lets me know that what I'm doing is actually helpful. So if you can, tell your friends about it, get them to subscribe, get them to check out the videos, and we'll see you guys next time.
Just a young gun with a quick fuse.